Coming to you live from our studio in Atlanta, Georgia, this is the A1 Trading Daily Show. Whether markets are rising or falling, we're here to keep you up to date with the latest market news. Join us as we trade currencies, commodities, and indices live, Monday through Friday.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another live stream. Hope y'all are having a great day so far, wherever you are tuning in from all around the world. One super cool thing about being here is that we have such a global audience, and that is such a really cool thing. Are y'all happy that it's Friday? I'm happy that it's Friday. Let's get into the market heat map. We are going to be checking out how our assets are trending so far today really quickly before we jump into the actual charts with Nick. So right up top here, I'm seeing USDJPY, USDZAR, and USDCAD seem to be our biggest movers to the upside so far today. US dollar pairs performing fairly well. And down here towards the bottom, AUDUSD, NZDUSD, and GBPUSD. So same thing, we are seeing US dollar pairs on the move today. If we want to take a look at our indices, we can take a look at our U.S. indices really quickly. The NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the U.S. 30 are all up on the day at the moment. Of course, the market heat map is getting updated throughout the day as the markets change. The market heat map is changing as well. But that was a quick look at how some of our assets are trending so far today. I want to really quickly thank our sponsors, 8cap, Forex Tester, and Superfunded for sponsoring the stream and making these streams possible. Thank you to our amazing sponsors for that. But with that, let's go ahead and jump into the markets with Nick. Here we go.
All right. And thank you, James, very much for the intro there, guys. And welcome back. If you're just tuning into the stream, then hope you're doing well. We have some crazy Friday volatility here. And we're going to be covering it together. We're going to be going over what's been going on. The dollar, man, just red hot. And I'm going to I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm going to tell on myself about this dollar situation. I got stopped out of dollar yen at the absolute most painful time in the history of time. Check this out. If we're talking about a painful stop out, I entered here, markets rally, great profit, right? Price comes down. I'm trailing a stop. Stop loss gets hit, and then this happens. Are you kidding me? Man, that can be really frustrating as traders. But you know what? I've been doing this a long time, and there's been times in the past where I'm like more bothered by this. It's still annoying when it happens, but it's sadly something that you kind of just get used to over time. It's gonna happen to everyone, and the best thing that we can do is we can move forward and we can look at setups to maybe get in on a retest. I think that this dollar yen move has been incredibly impressive, but probably a little bit overdone and probably due for some level of retracement. If it does happen, I will be there to pick up the pieces and maybe catch a ride back on this one. But yeah, wow. I mean, that dollar yen move, incredibly impressive. Feeling a little bit silly now that I caught a good move. I made money. Don't get me wrong. We made about $1,500 on this trade. That's awesome. But then we missed out on the other half of the move, which would have been clearly up like 4,000, 3,000, something like that at this point. So feeling a little bit disappointed here this morning, if I'm being completely honest, but it's trading. And if you're not ready for disappointment, then don't trade because it happens. People asking for gold in the chat, and we're going to look at several things. But we are going to be predominantly looking at USD related assets. I mean, this has been our focus the last week or so, and we're going to continue to cover them going into next week. So dollar yen, like I said, if it pulls back to that 50% retracement, it's a ways away. You're talking about at this point a move from current prices down another 9,500 pips. If it happens, I'll be looking to get long. If it doesn't happen, I'll be on the sidelines and a little bit sad about it, but not forcing any trades, not going to do anything dumb or rash, just waiting for that possible setup here on a breakout and retest of this 135 mark. So that is a little bit of a glimpse into my current situation. Let's talk a little bit about gold. Gold, guys, absolutely took out the lows. And this is really impressive moves for sellers. If you are watching gold here, if you're a bull, then I apologize. You are in some pain watching this today. This is an incredible sell-off here. Gold continuing its decline and a notable win for the gold bears this week. This low getting taken out is very impressive. And why I say that is because when you have something that holds as support for a while, if that level breaks, it's a victory. And that's exactly the pattern that we're seeing for gold sellers. If you're a gold seller, if you're a dollar bull, this was a win week for us. And I made money this week, so I'm in the winning side. It just doesn't feel like it because I got trailed out of a winning trade that would have been way more. And the reason I talk about that openly is because I've talked about this many times on my channel. A lot of times when you listen to creators and influencers in this space, what they'll say is just trade like a robot. It shouldn't bother you. But we're not robots, and it does bother us when we miss out on profits. And that's okay. It's not, you don't have to be a total void of emotions person in order to trade the markets. The difference is you have to act appropriately. So even though I'm feeling a little bit of FOMO, I'm feeling a little frustrated with my dollar yen trade, it doesn't mean I'm going to go do something stupid in the meantime. So with this gold trade and with this dollar yen idea, what's the forward looking play? Well, same thing, looking for pullbacks. And I believe gold is on the edge finder as a possible sell. Let me double check that really quick. If I go to commodities and I click gold here, gold. Yep, it's got a -3 score, which is pointing towards a sell bias, momentum heavy to the downside, and economic numbers pointing primarily towards sell side. So that's an interesting one to keep an eye on. Gold, like I said, if I was to be bearish or if I was to take a trade on this one, it's going to be on a pullback. And pullback for me here would be like the 38.2% retracement. Talking about an 1824, 1825 point where I'd be looking for sell side continuation, right? So that's my take on gold. If it retests this level, then I'm in for possible sells. If it doesn't retest this level and it just shoots through the lows and keeps going, then understandably, I'll be a little bit annoyed. I'll be feeling like I missed the trade. But at the end of the day, I'd rather be annoyed than in trades that I'm not supposed to be in, right? That's where I think it's an important distinction to make that, we're human. We're going to be annoyed when things don't work out the way that we had wanted them to. But the difference is acting on it is the important part. So yeah, gold to the downside, really, really strong here. I would say, if anything, I have no interest in being long. Nothing here is telling me to be long, only looking to be short on retests. So that would be my take on gold there. Yeah. So yeah, really, really crazy. No way any trader catches each pip to the T. Impossible. Trailing stops and partial profits are the way to go. Thanks for the support, my friend. And yeah, I mean, that's the reality of it, is that when I'm speaking logically on my situation with dollar yen, I trailed my stop. The market came back down. I had trailed behind this higher low series. I was doing everything right. And that's what kept me in this trade. I mean, I made money. It's not like I played it wrong. It's just that it is a bit frustrating when we had some very quick, this movement was really rapidly, like a little jolt through the lows, which, is always a crazy thing when it happens. Jolted through the lows. Fortunately, I mean, I took a profit. So it's not like I got trailed out down here. I trailed out for a profit before this rally. And hey, you know what? If this happens to pull back going into Monday, I'm going to be fine to re-enter the trade, and I won't feel so bad about it, right? Yeah. So let's go back to the watch list here for a second, see if we can find some other setups or things that may be worth paying attention to. Dollar yen does have that bullish bias still. Pound Aussie, that's an interesting one. Someone in the chat just asked, do you cover Pound Aussie? Pound Aussie, we're going to look to it to have a potential bullish bias just based on the Edge Finders analysis. So if I'm looking at this chart, what am I looking for? Well, probably some level of pullback. And this is more of an hourly chart setup here. So I'm drawing my fibs from the low to the high. Pound Aussie gets a +3 on the edge finder, which is a slight bias to the upside. Yeah, I like that 50%. If the 50% retracement comes back into play, this could be one. This is probably lower end priority for my trading. There's other setups that I like a little bit more. Like I said, that dollar yen pullback, I want to keep some dry powder in case that one sets back up. Swiss yen might be another one to just quickly look over. Swiss yen, CHF, JPY. Also, really strong push here as we start out the day. The yen getting very, very weak and finding support here. Finding support here. Really, really strong push there. Yeah, Swiss yen looks so good, man. It finally gave that pullback and buyers were ready, pulled the trigger on there and shot to the upside. So really quite impressive there. If we're able to take out the highs, like if we get something like this, if we get break above, retest, continuation, that might be something of interest. That's more of like a going into next week scenario. Let's go back. I want to show you guys something else here. Retail sentiment piqued my interest recently regarding these dollar crosses. AUDUSD, NZD-USD, Euro-USD, Pound-USD. What's interesting here, and hopefully you guys can see this decently, these pairs have a super buy heavy bias from retail traders. So retail traders, as we know, if you're part of the regular live streams, we talk about this often. Retail traders typically are on the wrong side of great trends in the market. And I noticed specifically this first one on the list, AUD USD, right? The Australian dollar has a really high long ratio from retail traders. So if we know that retail traders, they're going crazy on the long side looking at AUD USD, the chart is falling through the floor. And this is by the books what retail traders do so often is that when a trend is to the downside, retail traders try and go long. This looks like a great setup to go short on. And let's see if the edge finder agrees. I want to go to the watch list page and just get an idea. Yep, strong sell, -10 score. That's telling us that in every category, we favor downside move on the Australian dollar against the US dollar, -10. COT data. Smart money shows institutional money is long USD and short AUD. We could go look at that in just a little bit more detail if I go to the smart money tracker and show you guys this. AUD, look at this. AUD, or the Australian dollar, has a high short interest from institutional money. So institutional money is shorting the Australian dollar. Meanwhile, they're buying the US dollar. What is the retail crowd doing? They're going against that. They're buying the Australian dollar and shorting the US dollar. So understanding that is really, really key, right? Because if you're going long on this and you're saying, oh, it's going to bottom out here soon, you may be right here and there, but most of the time you're going against the flow of traffic while big money is just short on this and continuing to hold on to a nice profit. Hopefully that makes sense. The point here is if the market continues to decline like this and retail traders think, oh, well, the bottom is in, they're going to just continue to be disappointed. Now, there's not a certainty of that. Eventually it will reverse, but for the most part, they're going to be continuing to be on the wrong side. So for me, my bias would be if price pulls back, I'm looking to short this with a trailing stop. It's really simple. That's the strategy that we employ over and over. And we use the edge finder to seek out those opportunities in the market. So if you don't have the edge finder, really quick, we're going to drop a link in the chat. Here's how you can get access to the free version of the A1 Edge Finder. It is a limited version of our software. If you guys want access to this data, if this data would be helpful to you, then check out the Edge Finder. We'll drop a link in the chat now so that you can check it out for yourself and see if it would be of help to you to have access. Retail sentiment, by the way, is available on the free version. So you can have exactly what I'm looking at for free with the Edge Finder. So click this link. It's been dropped in the chat right now. And if you fill out that form, it'll automatically send you your copy of the Edge Finder. So get while you're here on the live stream, there's a free nugget for you. Now, guys, speaking of live streams, we are supported by some great sponsors here. And right now, James is going to take over for just a second and let you guys know our prop firm that we've partnered up with here on the live stream to make all of this content possible. So here's James. Check it out. Oh, maybe not. Is I'm not sure if Chandler's there or not. Hopefully he is. We might have to come back to that. No worries. Actually, you know what?
I can pop in real quick and let's just do it. I'm going to hop in here, guys. A1 Trading is excited to finally announce our official partnered prop firm, and we've got a pretty awesome offer for A1 Trading fans today. Superfunded is a new prop firm to enter the space that is looking to fund profitable Forex traders. If you have the skills but lack the capital, Superfunded is the answer. With Superfunded, traders are able to take an examination to prove their trading skills and have up to 90 days to pass. Superfunded is ideal for both swing traders and day traders, and even allows traders to hold their positions over the weekend. Superfunded is a funding program powered by 8cap, created for traders by traders. If you're looking to get funded, check out their examination today and get 10% off with the discount code A1 Trading. So again, Superfunded is a partnered up with 8cap. They are a brand new funding program to enter the space, and you can get 10% off their examination when you use code A1 Trading. Click the link down in the description below to get started. Now, Nick, back to you.
All right, cool. Thank you, James, for that. And awesome. So this content every day, like I said, like James was mentioning, is supported by our sponsors. It's the only way we can do this. There is a lot of costs associated with trying to live stream and have the studio, and to the level of quality that we put out, thanks to the team here. We're relying on sponsors to do that. So thank you to Superfunded, and check them out if you're looking to get funded. Link down below in the description. This dollar, guys, is not stopping. And look at this. The dollar just screamed higher as we got some latest news. I want to show you that. So we just had core PCE price index numbers come out this morning. Higher than expected. Now we got to go over this just for a quick second here. So this is coming out compared to the forecasted 0.4%. We got 0.6%. Now, what is this number? Core PCE price index. Well, it's the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding food and energy. It's the change in the price of goods and services. This is, of course, a measurement of inflation. Actually, Forex Factory has some cool notes here. It differs from core CPI in that it only measures goods and services targeted towards and consumed by individuals. So it's an individual-based metric. Prices are weighted according to total expenditure per item, which gives important insights into consumer spending behavior. CPI is released about 10 days earlier, and it tends to garner most of the attention. So not usually a big number, but today with the expected only at 4.4 and then the actual coming out at 0.6, it's gaining the attention of the market for sure. With the new home sales coming out as well this morning, we have a little bit of an interesting Friday activity to pay attention to. And again, from just a technical perspective, the dollar is going absolutely nuts this morning, and really quite the move there. Speaking of that crazy move, we have the inverse happening on the U.S. Stock Exchange. Here's the S&P 500 making a move in the early hours here to the downside and breaking this trend line to the downside. Pretty impressive move there as we go into today's Friday price action. I've paused any sort of attempt to buy the S&P at this time. Now, I will say, as a longer term investor, I think that you could probably pick up some stocks for good prices, in my opinion. But for trading perspective, the S&P looks really weak, right? Breaking through key support like this and the upward trend line that we've got. I mean, it's a case for the bears here as we continue to push lower. And probably, as I mentioned in a video coming out today, I already filmed it. I think the price could continue to march lower down to the 3,900 and 3,800. It just seems like with this dollar push, we're finally seeing the stock market kind of crack under that pressure. And so a very interesting thing there. Superfunded link, please. Yeah, we just dropped it in the chat there for you. Make sure to use code A1 Trading. Help us out. Hit that link. if you are looking to get funded and you use that code, it will help to support the streams here. And it will also get you 10% off any sort of evaluations that you go for. So yeah, Jason says I got stopped out on UJ at 134.1. I feel your pain, Jason. Yeah, it's a sad day. I mean, I made money on the trade, so it's like at least the profit was locked in there. But it never feels good to watch a trade run away from you without you. So if it gets a pullback, though, hey, there's still opportunity. The dollar is still something to think about. So yeah, markets are taking a hammering, says Thunda. Yes, indeed. The COT data on the A1 website is up to date. Dr. Z, yes, it is, except we have the CFTC has delayed reporting the last 2 weeks, but the numbers should, according to their website, be coming out as normal today on Friday. So we'll be looking out for that. And going into next week, I'm sure we'll have more to talk about in regards to institutional positioning. This data that we have here, the Smart Money Tracker page, this is the latest, but the latest is still 2 weeks old, as there was a delay in the reporting series from the CFTC. I mentioned this earlier, but we jumped away from it really quick. If you guys don't have the Edge Finder, we've sort of the big announcement this month is that we are offering a free version of the software now. It is limited, so I'm not trying to clickbait you or anything. It is a limited version, but you do get access to like retail sentiment, and you get the market heat map and the currency heat map and plenty of free features. So if you don't already have the Edge Finder free version, grab it. The link has just been dropped in the chat for you. Get the Edge Finder for free. Click that link, fill out the form, and I hope that it's really helpful to you. It genuinely, we've been working on the free version for a couple weeks now, and if you get access to it there, then enjoy it. If you have any questions, reach out to our website, and hopefully it is a useful tool for you. And that's sort of a thank you to our audience, and it genuinely has been well received overall. So hope it's helpful to you. Will the S&P take a retest now before going down? I don't know. I wouldn't bet on a retest. If it does retest, to me, like I said, I think it's kind of looking bearish. But yeah, stopped out on EuroCAD on 1.44 just now. EuroCAD looking like today. EuroCAD probably flying high, right? Yeah, look at that. EuroCAD ugly. I got stopped out on this one earlier this week too. This was my losing trade of the week. I tried to short EuroCAD on a retest here. Totally looked like a fool after that one. But overall, it was a profitable week. So I had a good week in the markets, at least on the currency side. So I can't complain too much. A profitable week is a profitable week. USDCHF. Let's see what's going on with the dollar Swiss. Probably screaming higher. Yeah, look at that. A market that I wish I was long. This one looks really strong. When the dollar starts flying like this, it's just I'm out of the way. I'm looking to get involved on a pullback kind of thing. So news in 6 minutes. Yeah, we have the housing starts potential, the new home sales. New home sales will be very interesting to pay attention to on the real estate side of things. It's the annualized number of new single family homes that were sold during the previous month. Forecasting for 620K will be interesting to see what that number comes out. And you can see historically here, it's been higher than expected. If that changes, might be very, very interesting. And we'll see if anything comes out of that. So, yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Here's another look at gold, which did, in fact, put in a new low since our last conversation about it, just by a little bit. Still, my eye on that 38.2% retracement if price comes up. That's more of possibly a next week trade. If price comes up to that level, there may be an opportunity to sort of look for a short, but sort of moved away from the entry point for me right now. Nick, Euro USD. Yeah, let's look at Euro dollar. I have a short bias on this one. My thought process on this is a retest. If it happens, I'll be looking to get short, similar to dollar yen, predominantly at that 50% retracement. And I know that, for people who want the live streams, I do try and make the live streams as entertaining as possible, but I don't take trades if there's no trades to be taken. And I think it's an important lesson that trading is not meant to be exciting all the time, thrilling all the time. It's meant to be, a lot of waiting. And so for me, the waiting aspect of this is waiting for potentially a pullback on euro dollar. And I get questions sometimes. People say, well, if you're waiting for a pullback on the euro dollar, why don't you trade it long in the meantime? It's a good question, right? Why don't I look to get long to try and ride it back up there and then short? And what I like to call that is that's superhero trading. Superhero trading is the type of trading where you're buying it and then you're selling it and then you're buying it, you're selling it, and you're trying to call all the moves. And there are people out there that may be just better at trading than I am. But for me, what I like to do is I just go with the trend. I wait for the setup. I don't try and catch the intermediate moves. I'm not trying to get entertained out of the markets. I'm not trying to stay in constant trades. I'm just trying to take the setups that I'm supposed to take. And that's what's kept me in the game, I think, for so many years now, is waiting for setups that have the best risk to reward, which for me is on the sell side. There's nothing here to buy the euro. Yes, it's tanked. Could it retest? Has it been overdone? Possibly, is a good chance. But I'm not going to try and call a bottom because this thing is melting to the downside and could continue. If I just take a buy trade here because I'm like, oh, well, it's overdone, it's got to come back. It doesn't have to come back. It could continue flying off without me. And many times those are trades that I miss where I have a sell idea, but the market just does this. And I say, okay, I want to, if it gets a retest, but it doesn't, right? It leaves me behind. Is it painful? Yes. That's why, though, I don't try and buy it because it happens sometimes. So you can't just, oh, it's gone down, it's got to shoot back up. Because guess what? I can prove it to you right now from the data that we have on the Edge Finder. That is what retail traders are going to do right here. Retail traders are going to try and buy the euro right now. And if you're doing that, hey, you should have a reason to do it. But I want you to understand that if you're buying the euro right now, retail sentiment, you are doing exactly what the retail crowd is doing on average. On average, the people buying euro right now make up 79% of retail traders. You are crowding in to the same trade that all the amateurs are trading. And if that, I'm not saying that you can't make money on the long side of the euro. If you're long, it might rally. You might have a reason to do so. And I'm not telling you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying you should be informed that right now, evaluating retail sentiment, which we use the software, the Edge Finder, to do, the retail crowd is buying. So if the retail crowd is buying, I'm looking to short, right? I'm not looking to go long with them because they tend to be, unfortunately, on the wrong side of the trade. And they're not long down here. Retail traders are long up here and here and here and here, and they're just holding on to a trade, hoping that it reverses. That is retail trading 101. We talk about this often on the channel. It's an interesting study to pay attention to. So that's where I'm at with the euro here today, is waiting for a pullback to sell it. And if you don't have access to this data, like I said, this is included in the free version of the Edge Finder. Grab it right now. It takes 2 seconds. Just fill out the form that we drop in the chat right now. Fill out this form, and that will direct you to have access to the data that I'm looking at right now for free. The retail sentiment page is free. Loving the free version of the Edge Finder. I'm glad that it's helping you. That's kind of the purpose. Now, if you choose to, we do, of course, have the premium features that are locked for people who support our project. We, just too much information. We've spent several hundreds of thousands of dollars investing into building this software. And so for the paid members of the Edge Finder, which you guys know who you are in the audience, if you have it, of course, I hope it's helpful to you, but I also just want to say thank you every time I can, because you guys are making it possible for us to reinvest money made from the Edge Finder into building new features and maintenance and all the staff that's required. So, it's a cool project. It's a passion project for myself and our team. So, grab the free version if you don't have it already, and we'll keep an eye there on that euro. But if it pulls back, I'd be interested, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. Now we're going to turn our attention to Kenzo, who's coming on to take over the stream for a little bit. Technical and fundamental trader from South Africa. We'll bring him in and say hello. What's going on, Kenzo?
Hello, how are you, man?
Good. Welcome back to the show. Thanks for being here, and excited to have your thoughts on sort of everything that's been going on with this market. What are you paying attention to this week?
This week, actually, my attention was actually on the economic news. Also, as I trade Nasdaq USDJPY, I saw that whatever that they have, like FOMC, I saw also there was some high impact news today and I think yesterday. They actually boosting the dollar against the Nasdaq USDJPY. So which means we might see the market actually Nasdaq's selling for quite some time now.
Mm.
So yeah, and we also had some very nice trades. We did actually sell. Maybe you can see on the screen we did sell actually Nasdaq USDT,
Yeah,
and
very nice.
also actually anything, most of the stuff, most of the pairs which are actually against the dollar, they were just struggling. So gold, euro, USDs, they were all actually struggling. So yeah, and both of them they were actually taking one side, which means the dollar, because of the inflation, and everyone is expecting that maybe they're going to increase the rate. So that's why we see the dollar actually getting stronger and stronger. So that is not actually good for the stock market, but it's for those who sell, it's fine because we're gonna make money with that. You see.
Of course, right? Yeah, no, that makes sense. And yeah, that strengthening dollar has really put a crack in the armor, if you will, of the Nasdaq, especially with those tech-heavy companies, debt-heavy companies, that sort of stuff, with potential rate hikes and things like that coming. It's an interesting environment, and I would agree with you. The stock market looks a little bit shaky here. So yeah, it'll be interesting to hear. I'll let you take over the stream here for a little bit, hear more from you regarding the Nasdaq, whatever else you want to share with us. But before I step out and give you the floor, if you guys don't already follow Kenzo on his YouTube channel, he's got some great content over there. Make sure to go subscribe to his channel. We're going to drop the link in the chat right now. Click that link, go find Kenzo. Make sure to subscribe to him so that you can get more content throughout the week from him as well. And Kenzo, have a great stream. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. And thanks to everyone actually. Good day, guys. Actually, on my side is actually around 5 o'clock p.m. By the way. So yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Yeah, if you are new, you just know that most of the time we start with Nasdaq. Actually, I start with Nasdaq USDT because these are the main indices that I trade. Actually, I actually trade Nasdaq only. But if I mix, I can trade USDTs and the gold and stuff. So for those who maybe want me to check other pairs, please you can share on the comment section which pair do you want me to check. It's not like maybe just because I said I only trade I only trade Nasdaq. It's I only do that. No, I can also do other actually analysis for Euro USD and gold for or any other thing. So what do we see actually on the screen? We can easily see that we have a very nice structure. This actually it's a Nasdaq structure. We can see that the market was actually doing what? The market was pushing to the upside. The market was pushing to the upside. Plus, we had a very nice support area. Do you see that? The market was giving us some very nice support area, and which made sense, by the way. But on top there, the market actually reached a point. You can see there. The market reached a point where actually the market was doing what? Found actually a resistance. Then the market started to do what? To push lower until we reach a point where the market started to do what? To break that support. And once the market breaks the support, we all know that if this was an uptrend, once the market breaks that, it means the market wants to do what? To change the trend. Now we're expecting the market to push lower. You see. So let's go closer there and see what's actually happening. I can see they say GBP USD, US30, AUD USD. Yes, I'm going to check that. S&P 500, USDJPY, Indian Nifty 50. I will check that, but I actually don't know that. So if I go closer there, you will see that actually we are on a 4 hours time frame. We actually smashed this one. Let me remove that. So you can easily see that after the breakout, after the market actually broke out, the market started to create some structures. You can see from this area, actually, if we connect that, it will actually make sense. You can see even here. Another one is this one here. So we can see that actually the market was consolidating, little bit consolidation there, then before the market pushes lower again. Even here, we saw the market trying to consolidate. Now the market is doing what? It's pushing lower again. So that's why I'm also expecting the market to do what? To push lower and try maybe to consolidate before we see the market pushing lower again. So where can the market actually reach? Where is this thing going to reach actually? I think we have an area where we can just call a support around like 10,600, around that area. I think if this bearish momentum is going to be stronger, I think we're going to see the market reaching this area. We don't know what will happen there. The market might respect that and push the upside, or maybe we might see a sell off. But that, if that happens, is going to be crazy, you see. But what we see is on Nasdaq, actually, we are actually on what? On a down trend. The market is downtrending. I'm expecting the market to push lower. So I saw someone said, Kenzo, let's check S&P 500. So let me see. Let me see. Okay. Let me see. I see S&P 500. I want S&P 500, by the way. Actually, I'm trying to check the comments. I can see the comments. What's really happening? Okay, this is S&P 500, by the way. I can see 500. This is S&P 500. I saw someone said actually check S&P 500. So yeah, I think on S&P 500, the market is also doing what? The market is also going down. So if I can maybe make sure this thing is clean, you will see what's actually happening. The market was actually doing what? The market was trying to push the upside. The market was pushing the upside. So on this uptrend, we saw the market changing that. This is S&P 500, by the way. We saw the market breaking out here. Then the market came back again and retest, tried to push the upside. And we can see that we had some sort of a sell where the market actually knocked us out. So we can start to see that actually on S&P 500, from since we reached this area, the market was actually giving us a downtrend. Do you see that? The market is actually downtrending. So what I see is the market actually gave us another structures where we can say the market consolidated. The market consolidated. You can see some consolidation here. Even here, we had some consolidation before the market actually pushed lower. So let me draw with the proper structures. Let me draw with the proper tools. You can see around this area, we had something. Also here, we also had something. So, but the bigger picture here is the market is now doing what? The market is now downtrending. The market will actually push lower like that. Why? Because actually the dollar is stronger. Dollar is getting stronger and stronger. So even here, I think the market will actually push lower, try to consolidate around this area. So let's push the next one, which is going to be US30 before we go on gold and other pairs. So Nasdaq 100, S&P, US30. So what's really happening on US30? I think it's also quite simple. If you know how to analyze Nasdaq and the other ones, mostly they have this quite similar moves. So on US30 also, this is 4 hours time frame. We can easily see that before I even maybe try to draw the trend lines, you can easily see that actually the market is coming from the top to bottom, which means that is quite clear. It's getting this is clear actually trend. The market started from this area, now it's here. So which means we are actually on a very nice downtrend. But once you identify that, obviously you have to know or identify structures that they're going to help you to have some trades, you see, or maybe where you actually supposed to know where you're supposed to buy and where you're supposed to sell. Actually, I actually removed some of the structures here, but I think maybe I can draw them just to make sure that people see actually what's really happening. I think our structures was like this. You can see my structure was like that. Actually, that was a very nice support because it was very stronger, and the market actually broke out of that. Then that's why we started to look for what? For those sell positions. So if you can see that the market was respecting this area, you can see around these areas. You can see how the market was moving. And that was actually a very strong support until we see the market breaking out. Now, actually, this is a very fresh a downtrend, which means we can still have a very like serious trades going to the lower side. But don't forget that the market won't just go straight down. The market might still consolidate, push lower, consolidate, push lower, and that's how the market moves. So actually, around this area, it's where we're supposed to have a sell positions around this until maybe around this area. Why maybe this area? This is just an average move where the market mostly give us. Maybe most of the time I like to make it like this. If the market gave us this average, mostly I will come back and do something like this. You see. So mostly it's where I'm going to have my take profit around this support area, area, around this area. So let me see. Okay, let me check which pair do you want me to check. Which pair do you want me to check? Um Let me see. So okay. Let me check some comments. USDJPY. Okay, let me go down. I saw also gold. Okay, now we are actually on gold. So let's see what's really happening on gold. So even on gold, guys, I think maybe quite straightforward. Actually, I think it's quite straightforward. Let me remove this. I've been selling gold for quite some time. So what's really happening here? This is actually gold. You can see actually what's really happening. The market was pushing to the upside. That was a very nice, actually, uptrend. That was very nice uptrend, right? So now what do we see? We see that the market is changing that. The market is changing that. The market broke out. It means now the market wants to do what? To change the trend and start to push to the lower side. Do you see that? The market is starting to push the lower side. So it means the market is no longer pushing to the upside, which means we are no longer on that uptrend. We are no longer on that uptrend. Now we're looking for a downtrend. So which means we're supposed to do what? To look for a very nice sell. Mostly when the trend is still very new, it's difficult sometimes to have maybe a proper resistant line going down like that because it's still very new. So the market will keep adjusting this trend, but when times goes on, it's gonna be way too clear for us to have some proper resistant line. But what we know is the market is currently doing what? Going down, which means we are actually on a downtrend. I hope you see that. So actually, I'm just looking for a sell position. So around this area, it was a support. Then this was a breakout. We have a trend, but we have a trade, by the way, in the group. So we are actually selling. So I've been selling gold for quite some time now. So yeah, and I'm happy because actually it's following that. It's following the trend. The trend is going down because we're no longer respecting our uptrend. So let me check what is something that you want me to check also. What you what other thing? AUD. Okay, let me check those pairs. Let me see USDJPY. I see it here. So yeah, let's see what's really happening then. So on you USDJPY, yeah, this thing is pushing high. And remember, guys, I think around 3:30 there was actually some economic news. That's why we see the market actually the dollar is getting stronger and stronger. So what do we see here? We see that actually the market was pushing lower. Very nice. This was quite straightforward. You can see the trend, the resistant line there. The market was respecting that very nice. You see. So after that, the market decided to do what? To break that area, and we saw a very nice retest there. So after this retest, it's where we start to see that the market is actually trying to do what? To give us a clue that, you know what, guys, I'm going with an uptrend. So that's what we can do now. So if the market is showing you something like this, you should actually look for buy positions only. I'm not saying that the market won't be selling along the way, but most of the time it's good to follow the trend, because the trend, it will be actually pushing to the upside. Do you see that? Mostly the market will consolidate, push up, consolidate, push up. So around this area, actually, we actually missed this one. We're supposed to have a buy above this resistance. Like here, we had a buy around this area. So the market mostly consolidate, push up, consolidate, push up. So we have to identify those resistance areas. When the market breaks, we actually have to buy above that. Or maybe we can buy if maybe the market comes very close to our support area. So what we see now is, yes, obviously you can't just jump on the market where it is now. Obviously, you have to wait for the market to come back around these areas before you buy. Or you can wait for the market to create maybe a resistance, point out that resistance, maybe you can draw your resistance line. Once it breaks that, you can continue buying. But for now, the market is already far from our support. Obviously, you can't enter, you can't do anything there. You see, you can't do anything there. So I see US oil also. Oh, let me just do, because I see there is like different currency pairs that you want me to check. So I'll just do whatever that I have here, so that I will cover everyone. So Euro USD, this is going to be quick. I know maybe Nick was also doing the analysis of this. So what's really happening here is Euro USD was actually pushing to the upside. Actually, it is still on that bullish momentum if we go on a bigger time frame. So on this bullish momentum, we see that actually we had another counter support, or you can just call that inner support, which is not really that stronger. We saw that the market actually broke out of that. So where we are now, I'm expecting the market maybe to do what? To touch our support before we see the market pushing up. So what we can do is we can try maybe to go closer there and see what's really happening. So whatever that we can do here, we still understand that we are still actually on a bigger time frame. We are still on that uptrend. So the market will still push lower, but when we reach this area, we might see another bounce back. So it means we can say we are on a hit and run. You can sell as a hit and run, but just know that the market can bounce back anytime. I hope you understand that. I hope you understand that. GJ, please. Okay, yeah. I'll be going on GJ. GJ, EuroCAD. Okay. So let me go on GBP Seems like we have people who actually wants to trade that. So what's really happening on GBP JPY? I think this is quite straightforward, but the market is not actually giving us some very nice trends. We can see that on a 4 hours time frame, the market is just consolidating, push lower or push up, consolidate, consolidate. Now it's pushing. So what do we expect here? As we had a resistant line here, we see a resistant line there. You see, the market just broke out. So I think, I don't know, maybe on a bit smaller time frame, I think maybe this might be a very nice buy position. This might be a very nice buy position, but don't do this actually on a 4 hours time frame. You have to go on a bit smaller time frame and see if maybe you can have some very nice entries, or maybe you can just use maybe a buy pending order, and if the market reaches your zone, then the market can open that. I think the market will be pushing to the upside. Why? Because I see that the market actually broke out of this resistant line, you see. So I will just come to other. I see some comments. How does seasonally impacted by your Euro USD for our time frame analysis? How does seasonality impacted? Hey, I don't really understand your question, man. But what I know is, if maybe I can try to explain this thing of time frames, guys, it's better for you to learn how to the time frames. Why? Because it's actually one thing, but separated with the time. Actually, to a smaller time frame, you see things very closer. On a bigger time frame, actually, you can see a bigger picture. You see, but it's just the same thing. So, but if you know, but again, you have to understand how to combine those things. Like if now we can see that the market just broke out here, it means we're expecting the market to push up. When you go on a 15 minutes, maybe you think maybe the market reached a resistance, maybe the market is about to sell. You have to understand that most of the time the market will be following the bigger PA, the bigger time frame. If maybe we are on an uptrend, if you go on a smaller time frame, you get the market selling. It doesn't mean that the trend has changed. No, we're still going to follow the bigger time frame, the trend that we saw on the bigger time frame. You see, so I think maybe that is the simplest answer. GJ target. On the target side, I'm going to use maybe the average of this move. You can see I'm going to gauge this, and what I'm going to do is you can see this area here. This average is quite also similar to here, so I'm going to use it here, then and say, you see what, you know what, maybe our take profit should be around this area. Why? Because that is the mostly that's how the market moves most of the time. The market creates those type of averages. Because I also got it here, we got it here, and also here. So it means there is a chance for the market to also create the same move there. I'm not saying it's going to be fixed like that, but mostly the market will be doing something like that. So EuroCAD, let me check UJ, USDJPY. Okay, I think I did USDJPY. Uh, let me check EuroCAD, guys. EuroCAD. EuroCAD, Euro Canada. Okay, so on Euro Canada, I don't actually trade this much. So let me check what's really happening. So this is 4 hours time frame, but we can see that actually the market is been actually pushing to the upside. The market is like seriously on this bullish momentum. So I think what we see now is the market maybe was trying to adjust the trend. The market pushed lower. I think maybe that was actually trying to adjust the trend. So let's see. Let's see what's really happening. Yeah, I think maybe the market was trying to do it to adjust the trend. We see that the market created a resistance on top there, and the market actually respected that. So on the bottom side, we also see that we had something there. Let me just draw that. Let me draw this. I think it's supposed to be straight. Let me remove that. Yeah, you see. Do you see that? I still believe that maybe this thing is still actually on a bullish momentum, because back here, or let me just do the full analysis of this. Yeah, I think we are still actually on a very nice bullish momentum. Let me connect everything. Yes. Actually, what I tried to connect here, I tried to connect this point, first point, this one, and this one. So I think, yes, you can see the market is pushing to the upside. There is a chance that maybe the market can still push to the upside, or maybe the market can actually sell, reach our support area before we push the upside. So where we are now, actually, we are actually on a resistant area. We are actually on a resistant area. We are actually on a resistant area. So the question will be, question is the market going to break this resistance, or maybe the market will break out? So if it breaks out, obviously you can take a buy. If they mean the market respect this, I can encourage you to sell, because we are actually on that bullish momentum. But unless if maybe the market reaches this support area, it's where maybe we can say maybe now it's time for us to do what, to buy. GBP USD, I don't know if I did that, so let me check GBP USD. I hope you guys are doing great. Let me say GBP USD. Okay, so what's really happening on GBP USD? Yeah, I think maybe you can easily see before I even go further, you can see that actually the market is giving us some sell vibes. You can see that the market is actually pushing to the lower side. So what I see is I see that the market actually from the top here, the market is being actually selling. The market was actually pushing lower. So where we are currently, I think maybe since the market is actually on a downtrend, I don't think maybe we're supposed to do anything, but some they can just maybe take a hit and run and buy a little bit. And when the market comes back again, they can continue selling. But what I see a very nice structure for actually a sell. Even though maybe on the bottom side, we might see something like a support area. Yes, that it's supposed to be there, obviously. But I think the market might find this support as a stronger push up, maybe to reach this area before maybe pushing lower again. So if you missed it there, obviously, I don't think maybe it will be a good thing just to go back on the market and try to run, like to jump on the market. Unless if maybe you want to hit a quick run, I mean, quick buy, then before maybe the market comes back. But I think, actually, no, sorry, not I think, actually, the market is actually on a downtrend. The market is expected to push lower, especially when the dollar is very strong. You see, so yeah, I'm still expecting the market to go lower. So, um, USD, UJ, let's see. I was thinking of going short. So, okay, USD New Zealand. So let's check USD New Zealand. USD New Zealand. Do I have USD New Zealand USD? I think let me check that. Uh, sorry, NZD. So yeah, let me check that very quick. I think our time is about to run half past. I think we left with 3 minutes. So, like you see, I actually did not analyze this. So, what do we see actually? Firstly, if maybe things are not actually good on 4 hours time frame, you can try to use quite bigger time frame just to understand what's really happening, to understand the trend first. Because if you miss things there, you might think maybe you are on a something maybe on a downtrend, but to find out that the market is actually downtrending. So what I see here is this is a daily time frame. Before we even do anything, I don't actually trade NZD USD, but by doing that, by drawing that resistant line there, I can easily see that no, the market is doing what? The market is pushing lower. Mostly, I like to draw double lines so that I can actually have a space between, because I'm going to cut other candlesticks, and on the second one, I'm not going to cut anything. So just to avoid fake breakouts and stuff like that. So what I see here is yes, the market is actually on a downtrend, and I think whoever said Kenzo check that, I think you missed a very nice one here. I think the market just touched here maybe days ago. The market touched our resistance very nice, and now it's pushing lower. But we can just go closer, guys. We can just go closer just to see what's really happening on New Zealand USD. Yeah, I will also go on gold, but I think I did gold, guys. I think I did gold. So let's see, but I will also check that. Yeah, so you missed some very nice moves. So what I see here is the market is actually continuing with that downtrend, because on a bigger time frame, I think we already show that we are actually on a downtrend. But if you understand the market structures, I think I see a very nice structure here. I see a very nice structure, which we're supposed to draw a proper support and resistance so that we can see actually what's really happening. I think I saw something here. I see something, sorry. And since the market broke out, the market started to do what? Selling. Remember, it might seem like that was very small, but it's not, because it's actually a 4 hours time frame. It's actually a 4 hours time frame. Around this area, we also have something. So the market will actually create stuff like this just to make sure that you get some nice trades. You can see that the market did what? Consolidated, But as we know that we are actually on a downtrend, we were going to look for this area, this resistance, where we're going to do what? To keep selling. Once the market moves away from this resistance, we start to sell. Then the market broke out, the market started to consolidate. We knew very well that since we are on a downtrend, around this area, around this resistance, it's where we're going to sell. And once the market, actually, I think it's still very early, once the market breaks this support, we're still going to jump on that because the market can still do what? The market can still consolidate, push lower, consolidate. So we might have another move like this. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to use a sort of an average and say, you know what? Maybe we might have another support around, or let me just do the average first. Let me scale this. Yeah, this is just an average. Why? Because there's a fake move here. So I'm going to fit it here. I think that is not a, that is fine actually. So we're gonna have something like that. It's not like it's going to actually, the market will always respect that. The market sometimes won't respect that, but most of the time the market actually respects those because we tested this on several pairs, several structures. So you were supposed to have something like this, but if you miss that, sometimes you don't actually have to jump on the market. If maybe you miss some moves, you see, if you miss some moves, you don't really actually have to jump. So with few seconds, guys, I think our time is already up. So I will just try. I see someone say check gold. I'll check gold and UJ because I already actually checked that. So if you missed that, it's fine. Let me just repeat that very quick. This is 4 hours time frame on gold. What I see is the market was pushing to the upside for a very long time. The market was pushing to the upside, which was actually an uptrend. The market just broke out of that uptrend, which means now we expect the market to do what? To give us a downtrend. Actually, this breakout means change of a trend. If the trend was pushing up, now the trend is pushing lower, which we call it a downtrend. So it means now we're expecting actually to do what? To sell. We're expecting the market actually to continue with the sell. But along the way, remember, the market won't just move straight lower like that. No, the market will actually fool us. Along the way, we will lose. Even if we know the trend, sometimes we still lose. So it means now we already understand that we have something like this, and the market is going to give us what? The market is going to give us something like this until we reach, I don't know where, but there is something that we're going to get. And the trends last longer, guys. The trends that can last 6 months or more. So which means now we can have that confidence of selling, even if maybe we can have some sort of rejections. But you can see we have a trade here. So it means we're expecting the market to touch this area maybe before pushing up. But at the end of the day, we know that the market might still push lower. So let me check the last one, which is actually UJ, UJ, where are you? Okay, okay. So yeah, I see here, I see. I hope you can see this, guys. We are on USDJPY. I already did this, but it's fine. I can repeat. What I see is we can easily see that the market, like for quite some time, it was pushing lower. Dollar was actually getting weak. That's why we see that the market was pushing down. Guess what? The market broke out. Now we are actually on a new trend. This new trend is not actually clear. If maybe we will try to draw some resistance support line, maybe you can try. Yes, you can get something, but the trend is still very fresh. So it means we're still going to get some structures which are going to actually continue with that trend. We can still get something like this, pushing up, something like that. So what you can do now is to try to identify support and resistance. So if you missed it here, you can just wait for a resistance. The market might come here before pushing up again. So your job will be identifying the support and the resistance, and you should know where to buy because now actually we are on an uptrend. So yeah, I think maybe already taken long. So thank you guys, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. So actually I did go over my time actually, so I will actually see you next week. Thanks to everyone who actually participated, guys. So yeah, thanks Nick, thanks A1 Trading, and yeah, I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thanks again for watching today's show. Our goal at A1 Trading is to continue to share free value to our audience through daily videos and articles, keeping you up to date with the latest market coverage. If you enjoy our content, make sure to subscribe for more. And if you're looking to get funded, check out Superfunded's examination today and get 10% off when you use the code A1 Trading. Click the link in the description below to find out more. From all of us at A1 Trading, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.